All right, we got breaking news right here into First Take, straight from Adam Schefter. I'm going to read his tweet right now. The Bills are finalizing a trade to send four-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Stefon Diggs to the Houston Texans for draft pick compensation, sources tell.
And also, last thing about Diggs, the brother is a difference maker, the game changer, and now he's going to Houston.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Nobody fucking with me, man. He man, ski man, spinning niggas cash. And I don't even need a GPS. I'm past it. Now, and you can't have that. Tell my chain 2 kids. You catch my gear legs and you better stretch. Don't be surprised.
I'm a Houston Texan. That sounds good. What's up, H-Town? Stefon Diggs here. I'm excited to get going, excited to get to work. Let's go.
What's good, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. Back at it, man. And Stefon Diggs is excited. Y'all heard him. He's touchdown in H-Town from the 716 to the 713. It's still, I don't want to say kind of feels unrealistic, as for a lot of us BillsMafia, this was like hit on so many different levels. Personally, I didn't want to see Diggs go. It was like, come on, man. It felt like we had been through everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, I guess. I was going to say, we didn't really have any ugly, but I guess things got ugly. And I thought most of that was media hype, but we found out on the tail end of it somewhere at some point it went bad. Like I said in another video, you can read between the lines. You see how lopsided the damn trade was. Still doesn't really make sense to me. Even a week later here now at this time, at this current juncture. But Brandon Beane wouldn't answer in the press conference if Diggs wanted a trade, if he asked to be traded. And to me, that spoke out, that said everything. And I've, continued to think, man, it wasn't Diggs and Allen fell out or Diggs and his teammates fell out or anything like that. Although now, as I'm thinking of it, has Josh said anything? Has he commented in any way on this? I'm still in off-season mode, kind of. I always say, man, that, especially when the season ends rough, I'm on sleep mode until like draft time, which is very, very close. But has Josh said anything? I don't know. I missed some things, but he's in Houston. He's happy. This is his new house, his new squad. But again, it was Diggs in the front office or like the franchise, the brass. It wasn't Diggs in the team. I don't believe. Let me know if you believe what you believe or whatever. But you see, man, he's making movies. And it was interesting. Lil Wayne, Fireman, he had it bumping in his headphones. I think he was lip syncing to it a little bit. Like, is it Diggs wants everyone to know he's still the fireman? He still got that fire. He can still ball. You know what I mean? There was a lot of cats saying Diggs lost to Steph. I don't know if I would go that far, but at the end of the day, we saw some un-Diggs-like stuff a little bit here and there last year. We saw him not out on the field at certain points in times. Was he playing through some kind of injury or something? I don't know. And a lot of BillsMafia, say and theorize that at the end of the day, they were like, yo, you're a hell of a player. We brought you here. But for whatever reason, when Ish was on the line in the playoffs, like not like Diggs didn't help us out a lot in a lot of big wins. But when it came playoff time, I don't know. I don't want to say he was non-existent, but I guess they felt they saw everything that Diggs could do to help this team win, and they were ready to pass that on to another team and pick up the pieces and move on. He's in a great situation. Houston's on the rebuild. Stroud, hell of a quarterback. Let me know how you think he will complement that team. He will complement Stroud, that offense. But I didn't want Ish to get ugly between Diggs and the fan base, the franchise. And for the most part, it's been good. He was classy when he said goodbye. He had nothing but love for the great city of Buffalo, New York, Western New York, upstate New York, 716. But everyone took notice the other day that his most recent like on Twitter was saying that the Bills had a low-key or the low-key worst fan base, and that we're bitter in the comments. And I hated to see that. Diggs knows what it is. He knows what social network. Everyone taps in to what he's saying. At times, he's used it to his advantage for that contract extension. I truly believe that a lot of what was going on in the Twitter sphere affected a lot of news narratives and what the media was talking about. And it's like a ripple effect. Players use it. Companies use it to promote things. Like, people have figured out different ways to use social network, the news cycle and whatnot for their gain. It's chess. You got to do it. And he's well aware that people are paying attention. And I saw some cats saying, look at this, man. Diggs is in Houston now and he's ishing on us. And I don't know, man. I don't know how to take that. At first, I saw everyone was tripping about that. But I was like, you know what, man? Maybe Diggs just like... People never like to put themselves in the other person's shoes, right? And I get it. He's a millionaire. He makes all this money, this, that, and the third. Life is good. A lot of people always point that out about celebrities or athletes. But hey, he still worked for it. That's still his life. He's living his best life. I'm not hating on that. You know what I mean? It don't just mean because you're rich, you got to deal with bullish. I mean, dealing with bullish is a part of everyone's life. And especially when you're a celeb / pro athlete, you got to take some ish on the chin. You got to deal with some stuff. You got to have thick skin. But it doesn't mean that the toxic, fucked up things people say, especially on social network, especially on Twitter. I mean, listen, I love Twitter. That's my favorite social network of them all, man. I'm not really an Instagram guy. Fuck Facebook, it's non-existent to me. Like I said, IG's okay. I haven't got into the whole TikTok craze yet. It's taken over the world, especially the youth. My son is obsessed with TikTok, him and all his friends, man. But Twitter, I like that the info you get off there, and independent journalists and stuff like that, and NFL Twitter and all that. And I still call it Twitter. Fuck all that X-ish. Elon, that's whack as hell, man. You're goofy for that one. But the downside of Twitter is the trolling is ludicrous. People go berserk. The ish people say, it can get to someone, you know what I mean? And he's not immune to that because he's a pro athlete. So I'm wondering if he just got sick of the bullish and, happened to see that tweet. And like I was saying, he knows people are paying attention. Maybe that was just a bit of a message like, hey, Bills fans. Like, I know some people are going to see it and say, this guy was saying we're low-key the worst fan base. But right for now, I'm taking it as he just wanted to send a little message like, yo, I see the ish y'all are talking, all that hateful ish, like, cut it out. I don't think it's directed at the whole fan base, I love this team. I love this fan base. I bleed Buffalo Bills, red, white, and blue. But there's people tripping within this fan base, as well as like any other community or part of the population, man. Like last year, I kept telling everyone, hey, look at the way we've been all these other seasons since we've been a good squad, a solid contender, as yes, the Super Bowl window is still open. Don't worry. This is our division. The AFC East runs through Buffalo. We'll get back at it and we'll turn things around. And we did just that, But you got these fans that it's like either everything's great or they're just tripping and talking all negative. I mean, I get it. We're all human. We react. Sometimes we lose our cool. But to just get online and just get to the bullish with social network, like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the type of cats that, some like a really tough loss or something happens, right? Within a few hours after that, I'm expecting people to be tripping. But a day or two later, you're still going on and just getting crazy negative. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine the type of wild-ish individuals like that were saying about Diggs, as I did see some unnecessary stuff being hurled towards his way. But this is my squad. I still do believe we are the best fan base in football. we'll see how Diggs feels towards. Like I said, he was classy when he said goodbye. We'll see if there's any more jabs or subliminals sent this way. But for now, again, I'm just taking it like that was just a quick message, you know? Do we play Houston this year? I don't know. I don't think we do, man. But again, he'll be great with that team. They're on the rebuild. They had the bottom fall out of that team, and things are ahead of schedule as for progressing back to a contender, and good for him. You know, I wish him the best of luck. It's up against the Bills. It's crazy, too. I remember that's where Fitz went when he first left Buffalo. He went a lot of other places. Almost played for the whole damn AFC East, man. Fitz, what a guy. Fitz magic. And in his first head-to-head matchup against the Bills, he beat us against E.J. Manuel. You guys remember that game? J.J. Watt ran back a pick six on us. It was a crazy game. Fitz, I think, had a rushing touchdown. Shout out to Fitz, man. And he's been doing great work in the broadcast. And a lot of people, myself included, was hoping maybe on all those one-year deals on that tail end of Fitz's career, maybe he'd end up back in Buffalo as a backup for 1 year, but it didn't happen. He had that injury, but he did come to honor Eric Wood, and that was what's up, man. But if you're paying attention to the imagery and stuff in this video, you know, there is something else we got to talk about, and I don't want to say this is Stefon Diggs' replacement, but I want to know if this signing has been slept on at all. And, you know, could the Bills be just the right place with this team, with this offense? You know, could the stars align for Curtis Samuel, who by all means is a good receiver? You guys see all the highlights and clips playing and everything like that. I love dude's swag, his energy. I didn't realize when we signed him that he was the guy that did the Thriller dance, man. I hope he brings that back with Buffalo. You know what I mean? The Thriller. Like, how can you not love that? R.I.P. Mike, man. I remember that very well. The Thriller had the NFL turned up, and it's always great to have someone on the squad who can really turn up with the Sellies, man. I miss Why So Serious Stevie Johnson. I still don't understand why we traded him when we did after we drafted Sammy Watkins, who I don't want to call him a bust, but definitely didn't pan out like it was supposed to in Buffalo, man. What the hell, Sammy? But Stevie really was something special. Times we were going through with that team, what he brought, the energy, the swag, like I mentioned about Samuel, the explosiveness, getting national media coverage. Even, like you guys recall, we started 0-8 that year and finished out 4-12. It was a bad year to bet against the Bills with the spread. Spoiled a lot of people gambling on football that year. Spoiled the day. A lot of bets, broke a lot of hearts that way. And we took some really great teams to overtime that season. But Stevie Johnson was definitely an upside. But this guy that covers the Bills, Thomas DeLause, who I like his stuff as of late. Even as much as I'm on Twitter and I love my Bills, there's still mediaologists out there that I'm not always so familiar with. But I've liked the takes he's delivered from thus far. And I saw him being honest when, sharing an old tweet that he put out when he was totally wrong, actually about the Diggs trade. He wasn't running or hiding from it. Some cats are scared to do that, But check out what he says. He says, I think we are grossly underestimating the impact that Curtis Samuel is going to have on this offense and for Josh Allen. He has succeeded in the past with wide receivers who create separation, and there are few better than Samuel in that department, ranked 13th in the NFL with 3.3 yards, an elite number. So you see that, an elite number at getting separation, and that's, analytically been great for Josh Allen when he has those kind of receivers. Also mentioned in the past that his best years were under Joe Brady. And I expect with the departure of Stefon Diggs that Samuel will have a primary role in the weekly game plan. His versatility is going to be an incredible asset in both his inside and outside flexibility. Samuel, Kincaid, and Shakir are extremely versatile and will benefit from each other. And I want to stop real quick there and point out, too, there was a tweet someone shared a while back that I like since the Diggs trade. So I'm saying a while back, maybe 4 days ago or so, that I didn't get to and lost in the sauce somewhere in my endless amount of screenshots and stuff like that. Comment if you guys got a lot of that going on in your device as well, that was showing Shakir and Diggs numbers comparison between them last year, as we lost in the playoffs, obviously, but so I don't know if everyone remembers so well. Maybe you would try to put that game out of your head. A lot of it I do as well, but remember Shakir had or was it not in the playoff game? I remember he had a few really nice highlights late in the season last year, and really when he was getting out on the field was producing, in my opinion. And that's what you want from guys you draft. And a lot of people have been saying, "Hey, Shakir, like what's going on?" And that comparison that I'm talking about, I forget it wasn't from the whole season. I want to say it was from like mid-season and on. I think Shakir and Diggs had like almost identical numbers in production. So that's really something to point out. And let me continue on though. I expect Curtis Samuel to have 85 to 89 targets, 850 yards receiving, 850 yards receiving, and 6 to 8 touchdowns with potentially some usage in the rushing attack. And with that being said, I see people reacting saying, yo, this guy is a Swiss Army knife. He's an explosive player. He's an X factor. I see quite a few people saying, no, I haven't been sleeping on or underestimating this signing at all. I can't wait. And, pretty much all good reactions. I saw someone saying, yo, this guy was a slot receiver pretty much 70% of the time last year. You're tripping, cut it out. But, for the most part, I see everyone pretty upbeat about this. And I really like hearing about his history with Brady. That's huge to me, as Brady had a lot to do with turning this team around last year for sure. I mean, it was like night and day. Brady came in and those struggles were gone. And this guy has had decent numbers from someone that's not like your number 1 or 2 receiver, right? Just on the cusp of there, like just under 1,000 yards in at his best. Like he's never broke the 1,000-yard on a season threshold, but he's put up some numbers. And, one other thing that everyone keeps pointing out as well is he hasn't really had good quarterback play. He's been plagued by having just inadequate passers throwing him the ball. And we know Josh is one of the best in the league. So with all that being said, this is so dope to find out. The Thriller could come back to the 716. I hope he revives that. I'm going to try to get that going on Twitter. Anyone else, if you're rocking with me, let's try to get that trending online and at Samuel when the season comes around, right? But I don't know. I'm liking this. I'm feeling upbeat about this, and I'm really feeling like, this is already like a big part of Brady's vision for the offense. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna take some shots in the draft and stuff like that, no question. But I want to know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Is the Bills, is Josh Allen that quarterback that can have Samuel have a breakout season? He's no spring chicken. He's been in the league a while, but he's still explosive. He's got talent. Like I said, could the stars align? He has his breakout season, and the Buffalo Bills and this offense, among the other weapons we have, keep pushing on. And yo, everyone comment too, in your opinion, has Kincaid took the #1 tight end spot from Dawson Knox? I'm curious to know. And man, if you pay attention to all the highlights too, do you guys see those one? Which, man, he has some really, I mean, obviously I know they're highlights, right? They ain't lowlights. But man, he has some really beautiful, exciting footage, Samuel does. And what's it like those, I knew the Commanders, obviously, they've only been called that for a couple of seasons, have new uniforms. But I don't remember seeing those like black jerseys. Those are, at first when I saw that, I was like, am I watching a college highlight? You know what I mean? I almost thought it was a college highlight for a second. But there you have it, man. Stefon Diggs is in the 713, getting settled in. He's ready to go to work. How do you feel about all that? What do you think he meant by sending that jab at BillsMafia and the Bills by liking that tweet? And Curtis and this Bills signing. Let's talk about it all. Subscribe. Stay tuned for updates. It's Coffee, talking music, news, sports, and more. And I'm out here. Peace.